Alright. This is gonna be part 2 to What If Deku was a todoroki, and I found a picture of what Deku could look like. Yeah, on the screen. Yeah, I lost most of my photos, so I had to get some new ones, and yeah. So I got a picture of Izuku and the ship. But yeah, anyway. So I'ma just change one thing about this thing. I'ma just change Izuku's quirk just a little bit. So rather than like the fire creating the ice, it's just gonna be like a half and half thing. He can create the fire and he can create the ice individually, but he can create it from any point on his body, not like half. But yeah. Anyway, so I'm pretty sure I left it off after like the physical examination thing. So I should start from there. So they did all the tests and stuff, and they go back into the room and then they go home. They over. But yeah. So, and the next day when they come to school, everyone's just talking, and like they've done a few of their classes. Then they're waiting for Aizawa to come in, and then they hear a boom, 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 boom. The door bursts open, and they see All Might like doing a weird ass position, and he says, "Coming to the door like a hero," or whatever the hell he says. Everyone's like cheering and stuff, including Izuku and Todoroki and whatever. Everyone. Oh yeah, wait. I should probably show you. Yeah, this is the ship. She's in the class. Her name is Marceline. The only reason I thought of that name is because I thought ice, Dio, vampire, female vampire, then Marceline. Yeah, and the funny thing is she doesn't even have an ice quirk. She can control snow. That's what I'm going to give her. But yeah, and I did pick it because she was holding a penguin. But yes, anyway. But yeah, so everyone's cheering and All Might says, calm down. Okay, today we'll be doing the heroes versus villains, and the speech that he says, he just describes it, whatever the fuck they're doing. He says, but we can't be a hero without our hero costume. And he pressed the button, everyone's hero costume comes out the thing, and for simplicity, I'm just make this his hero costume without the guns, because I couldn't think of a hero costume, man. I ain't creative with that type of stuff. But yeah. So everyone's get changed and they walk out. Everyone's complimenting their costume, saying they're cool and whatever. But yeah. All Might says, okay, for fairness, I am going to pick the names out of a hat for the villain team and the hero team. He picks out the villain teams first. It's Bakugo and Todoroki. Hero team, Marceline and Izuku. They walk out and everyone's watching up, and it was kind of like a little time skip. This is like the 5th round or some shit, because I don't actually remember which one Izuku's was, but yeah. So when they're there, like Todoroki and Bakugo walk into to the building. Before Todoroki enters, he says, "Good luck, Izuku." Izuku just kind of gives him a cold stare, then just looks and says, "Okay, Marceline, what's our plan?" Todoroki just kind of sad and says, "Okay." He just walks into the building. So they're talking. Izuku says, "Well, my brother Shoto might freeze the building, which would make it hard to traverse through. So we could go up the side of the building, checking every window for the bomb." Marcy says, "Yeah, but what about the other dude, Bakugo? Or Katsuki, whatever the fuck." But yeah. Says, "Well, I don't know, but he seems like he won't listen to my brother or anything he says, so he'll probably just want to come fight us, by the looks of him." But yeah. She says, "Okay, so how about I can get us up there with stairs, and we just check for the bomb, okay?" Then Izuku says, "But what are we actually going to do if we do find the bomb? If you are right, he if Bakugo does run down the stairs and try and find us, we'd be left with Todoroki. How could we do this? And he says, I don't know, I'm not too good at fighting. I can just use my quirk to create snow things and stuff. He says, okay. Well, if you can handle the staircase, I can try and fight my brother. He says, okay. And and then All Might says, okay, hero team may enter. This is when Bakugo starts, blasting. They can hear him, going through guess we were right. But yeah, so she creates the snow stairs. She can create snow and control it, so yeah. I just felt like doing that. Yeah, so they're walking up the stairs. Izuku has little spikes on his shoes or whatever, so help him walk on ice or whatever, and same with her, so she can walk on the snow without slipping. But yeah, so they're walking up it, checking every window for the bomb. They haven't had any luck until they get to the 5th floor. I think it's the top one. They see Todoroki looking at a door, and then a bomb beside him. Zuko says, okay, I can do something to distract Todoroki and get him and hurt him as well. So you can touch the bomb. And she says, okay. And so I'm gonna give Izuku a special kind of attack. It's gonna be called Exploding Ice, where he uses his hot ice and makes a ball and surrounds it with normal ice. And once all the heat is expanding inside, and it forces the ice outwards, creating an explosion and little shards of ice. I'm gonna just do that. So he can create this in any shape or form, whether it be a ball that he might throw at someone, or a big ball that will come into play later. But yeah, so he creates it like a little rectangle that would fit in the a window. He tells her to get back, and so she does, and it explodes after a short time, and even hitting Todoroki in the back in his back, just giving him a few minor injuries, but it makes him go to the ground. Todoroki, by reflexes, sends a giant ice wave towards Izuku that was hopping through a window. Izuku says, shit. And that's when, Marceline, creates a snow wall that does stop the ice, but the ice is creeping over it. So Izuku trying to just... Jeez. I gotta just... Give me a second just to get my thoughts together. But yeah. So Izuku goes around the other side where the ice wall isn't, and Todoroki sends a fire blast. Izuku sending his own fire blast, which actually freezes Todoroki's fire. And Izuku tries to run so Marceline can touch the bomb. And he tackles Todoroki to the ground, pinning him to the floor and then Marceline touches the bomb. All Might then saying, heroes win. Bakugo yelling out, what? Where the hell are they? And Bakugo, faster than the speed of light, bro. He be running up the stairs. He get up there. Oh, God. He get up there and he's like, you bastard, you didn't fight me. He rushes towards Izuku, and Izuku not wanting to deal with this shit, just uses the blue fire and it hits Bakugo, and All Might's like, no, Bakugo, Katsuki, young Katsuki, whatever, I don't fucking know, man. He thinks that Bakugo's just been burnt to a crisp. Crispy. But yeah, and once the smoke clears, it shows Bakugo one hand forwards, an explosion coming out, but frozen, and all of his body frozen. Everyone's like, what the hell? Izuku just then walking toward, and starts walking towards the door. And he says to Todoroki, you might want to deal with that. He might get too cold and die. Todoroki's like, yeah, I guess so. He puts his hand on Bakugo and melts the ice. Bakugo then, being chilly and cold, but still aggravated, rushes towards Marceline this time, and she kicks him in the balls. Yeah. Bakugo falls to the ground, and every boy in a 10-mile radius just has a sensation of pain in their body. They don't know why, they just do. And, all the boys in the camera room are like, oh man, that would hurt. Even All Might. A few girls ask what the hell's going on, and I'ma say it like fucking Kaminari just says, it's just a boy thing, don't worry about it. But yeah, anyway. Todoroki has to carry Bakugo, so he carries him like over his head or something, like not over his head, like when you're carrying an injured person, your legs, like, whatever. He carries him back, doesn't freaking matter. Zuko's walking there with Marceline, just talking, saying, oh yeah, that was fun, at least we got the bomb. But yeah, once they're all back, Todoroki just drops Bakugo on the floor. Like, calmly, I guess, like, not just yeeting him onto the floor. He puts him down, yeah, that's better. So, and All Might says, well done, but are there any flaws that can be pointed out during this fight? Momo putting her hand up saying, yes, your assumptions, although some of them were correct, that would not be viable in an actual hero situation. You assuming that Todoroki would freeze the building did not come true, but it did cause you to a more efficient use of your quirks in a plan. The idea that you thought Bakugo would go down, although was correct, that would not be well in an actual situation, assuming that people go directly for you. Villains might be smarter than that. Bakugo getting annoyed, like, what, you calling me dumb? She says, shh, you didn't let me finish. She then says, and with that move you used, Izuku, with the ice exploding, although it didn't harm Todoroki majorly, it could kill a villain in a real situation, causing more problems than before. And she says, I'm done now. I might say, congratulations, Momo young Yayorozu. Great analyzation of the fight. But yeah. And, a few more people do their fights, like 2 more or something. And yeah, so everyone gets changed back and they go into class. Well, they go back to class, and it's lunch or something, and Marceline asks Izuku, hey, you want to have lunch with me? He says, yeah, sure. Why not? They walk to lunch and they get whatever they're going to get, like fish, rice, and vegetables, because I'm pretty sure that's what I saw them ate in the anime. But yeah, they do that. And they're just sitting talking, and then Todoroki sits beside Izuku. He says, hey, Izuku. And Izuku just ignoring him. Doesn't give a crap about Todoroki at this point. Just doesn't. He says, you wanna... He just kind of looks down. You know what Hashirama did when Tobirama's kind of insulted him or something? Called him stupid. The sad puppy thing. That's what Todoroki did. And he gets up with his food and just walks towards a different table. Momo catches him and says... Well, not catches him, like, stops him and says, what's wrong, Todoroki? Oh god, my throat's dry. But yeah, so he says, I tried to talk to Izuku, but he wouldn't respond to me. She says, oh, okay, well, maybe next time. But yeah, so they continue with the lunch, and yeah. So a few more weeks pass, and Marceline and Deku, they just do all their shit, and they hang out a few times, going into each other's room to play games. Nothing else. Just whatever. I don't know, Call of Duty, Minecraft, whatever. They've become good friends. And Todoroki also attempting to try and befriend Izuku and repair their brotherly friendship. I don't know, man. I don't know what else. Yeah, so, and then the 2 weeks have passed. Aizawa comes into the room saying, "Okay, everyone, today we're going to be going to the USJ." Everyone cheers, saying, "Woo, yeah!" And then and Aizawa says, "Calm down." And then Kaminari puts his hand up and asks, "Mr. Aizawa-sensei, what is the USJ?" Mina yells out, "Universal Studios Japan!" Everyone cheering again. And Aizawa says, "No, you idiots. Unforeseen simulation joint." Oh, God. Just get into your hero costumes and go into the bus. Oh, jeez. But yeah. They get into their hero costumes, and Izuku pretty much just walks onto the bus straight away, not giving a shit about what Iida's doing, like fucking karate, chopping and shit. And yeah, so he's the first one on the bus. Bakugo, thinking that Izuku thinks he's better than him, just walks into the bus straight after him, even pushing by him when he's walking past. But yeah. So everyone else goes onto the bus, and Todoroki sits next to Izuku. Izuku had the window seat, so he can't escape. Oh, God. And he says, "Hey, Izuku, what you looking at?" Izuku just kind of looking at him, giving a blank stare, and just looking back out the window, anime protagonist style. But yeah, so I think I said that, but yeah, whatever. Then Aizawa starts driving the bus, and Todoroki just trying to talk and says, and he tries to ask, like, try and make small talk, like the weather's good today. And then Izuku looks at him and says, "What do you want to talk about, Todoroki? You're not here to ask me about the weather, are you, I hope?" And Todoroki says, he looks down and kind of says, "I'm sorry, Izuku, for not trying to be a good brother or stuff." Izuku just says, "Look at me." He looks at him in the eye. Todoroki looks him in the eyes and he says, "I don't want your apology. It's not your fault. It's mom and dad's. They've made you their top priority, ignoring me entirely. But that doesn't matter. You had the perfect quirk, half hot, half cold. The perfect thing Dad wanted. Discarding me entirely, so it's not your fault, it's theirs." Todoroki going, okay. Then for the rest of the ride, for most of the rest of the ride, they sit on there in complete silence, except for everyone else. And then, Floppy asks, I need to take like a Strepsil or some shit. My throat is like itchy. But yeah, so I'm trying to speak as clearly as possible. But yeah, so Floppy, she asks a question like, "Oh, what's everyone's quirks and stuff?" She asks like, "Todoroki, what's your quirk, Ribbit?" He says, "Oh, my quirk's half hot, half cold. From my left side I can create fire, and from my right side I can create ice." She says, "Oh, what's your drawbacks?" "Oh, I can get hypothermia or just burnt in general." She says, "Oh, okay, that's okay, that's cool." She asked Deku, "What's your quirk?" And I thought of a name for it, half hot, half cold. And Deku just says, same name as Shoto's. Half hot, half cold. Except I can create it from all over my body. I can create cold fire or hot ice. And she says, "Wow, that's pretty cool." She says, "What's your drawbacks?" He says, "I can get frostburn." What's that? What's that? God, whatever. What's that? He says, it's like a burning sensation except it's from cold. She says, "Oh, okay." And then, yeah, he doesn't talk for the rest of the ride. But, they eventually get there, and 13 does her speech. I think it's a her. Yeah, it is a her. Does her speech, everyone kind of getting bored. Like, even Kirishima asking, like, but how could I hurt someone? I just have hardening. Her saying, oh, that can hurt someone from like a sharp corner on your elbow. But yeah. And then like pretty much near the end of her thing, a purple portal opens, and then the villains start walking out. Kirishima saying his line, oh wow, fake villains, wow, that's gonna be so fun. Aizawa looking at him like kind of half asleep, and then his eyes widen like he just had 20 shots of caffeine. He says, wait, no, those aren't fake villains, they're real. 13, protect the kids. And he rushes down, and Izuku, thinking maybe I should help Aizawa sensei, he sends ice down there, like on the floor, like, and then it pretty much in little areas he creates exploding ice things, only going for the legs down, not trying to aim for the head or anything. He actually took Momo's advice, saying that he shouldn't try and doesn't want to try and kill them, he just wants to incapacitate them. He actually takes out 50% of the villains, and this annoys Shigaraki. He's scratching his neck like, that stupid brat. I feel like I'm speaking too fast, I should slow it down. But yeah, so he tells Kirigiri to teleport the kids so that won't happen again, and they won't just destroy all of his army. He does the same. He does what he did in canon. Everyone gets sent to the same area. Invisible Girl is replaced by Marceline. But yeah. So Izuku's in the water, and he's defending off the villains, sending his fire out, and it's actually working because it's cold, not hot, and it's not extinguishing it, and freezing some villains. But yeah. But he eventually gets on the boat with Froppy and Mineta. And he says, what can our plan be? We have to get out of here somehow. Froppy says, they think about it for a little bit, and they come with this plan. Izuku will create a giant version of his exploding ice under the water, and once it explodes, hopefully it sends most of the villains up in the air from the force alone. Mineta will try and throw as many of his balls at them as he can, trying to stick them together. And what else? And if Floppy can try and get some as well. They agree on this plan, and Izuku dives into the water, and using his with a lot of energy consumed, he creates the hot ice bomb that explodes in a mere second due to the amount of gas being released from the hot ice. And this hurts a lot of them, and thankfully no casualties were from this, so Izuku won't get in trouble. But he does hurt a lot of the villains and send most of them up in the air. Mineta does what he was supposed to do, and Froppy does actually get some and just kicks him down, hurting them. Izuku quickly getting back up onto the boat just in case some villains didn't get hurt. But yeah. Jesus Christ. But yeah, so get backs up and says, okay, how do we get across now? Most of the villains are gone. She says, oh, can't you create a bridge or something? He says, oh yeah, I can. That they're not trying to. This is their first villain situation. They're not thinking clearly. So if he doesn't do something, he doesn't do something that would be obvious. It's just blame it on that. But yeah. So he says, okay, I create a bridge and then you hop down on it. Okay, I say, yeah. So Izuku pretty much using his fire, not his ice, because that would actually burn them. He uses his fire to create a little ice bridge that, if they run across fast enough, it won't break. Yeah, so the plan actually works out, and they arrive just in time to see Aizawa getting his head smashed in. Interesting. Yeah, they see the Nomu pretty much destroying Aizawa. And this is his teacher. He is going to well, a relationship with him, like his teacher. He cares for him or something. My throat hurts. You know, like just by reflex or instinct or whatever the fuck, he just he sends the hot ice towards Nomu and getting one of its arms, stopping one of its arms, even burning it and cutting off its hand. Nomu screaming out in pain, but it soon regenerates. Shigaraki then laughing and looking at them, saying, "Brad, you really thought that was going to kill the Nomu?" Ugh. This thing was designed to kill All Might. It can regenerate, has shock absorption, and has super strength. You really think your measly quirk can kill it? That's when he says, How about we show you how weak and pathetic you are? Nomu, kill it. Kill him." The Nomu rushes, but then is stopped by an ice wolf. Well, not really stopped, but slowed down, kind of stopping. Jesus Christ. Sorry for the loud noises from me coughing and dying. But yeah, so this was in Izuku. It was actually Todoroki doing this. Stopping the Nomu and the Nomu looking at Todoroki. Izuku kind of like in shock, but has a little smile on his face going, "Thank you, Todoroki. Oh, Shoto." He then hops up and like just trying to stay alive. He uses hot ice to encase the Nomu and also go inside it, burning it from inside and out. The Nomu is trying to break out, but it's losing most of its muscle fibers and any strength it has. But the ice does begin to break, and is when Shoto reinforces it with his ice. And then Bakugo coming to the rescue. Actually, no, sorry. The Nomu then breaks out and grabs Izuku by the throat, choking him. But this is when Bakugo comes to the rescue and pretty much explodes the Nomu's head, killing it, stopping it from regenerating. Because that is its weak spot. But yeah. So, Shigaraki's like, what? The Nomu is dead? And then, All Might comes busting through the door like, I am here. Shigaraki at this point shitting his pants. Not literally, but yeah. He says, Kirigiri, get us out of here. Now. Yes, master. They teleport their ass out faster than the speed of light. But yeah. So after a few minutes later, the police do arrive. Everyone's taken care of. Any injuries that happened to the students were taken care of, and most villains were put into custody. And a lot of them having to go to hospital due to Izuku, Bakugo, and a few others, like Ojiro and stuff. Kaminari as well, because the electrocution. But yeah. So, and then a day later, because they are in dorms, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I did make them in dorms. All Might says, he arrives at the dorms and he announces that everyone come to the living area. He says, okay, everyone, due to your teacher being out of commission for a while, I will be telling you that you will be having the sports festival in 2 weeks. You will have time off due to the incident, but please use it to train or relax, either one. Everyone's kind of getting excited. And yeah, so for 2 weeks, Bakugo, Sero, Kirishima, Kaminari train, Momo and the other girls train, Izuku, Todoroki and Marceline actually trained together. Because Todoroki asked Izuku if he could train with him. He says, sure, why not? Because Izuku kind of feels a little bit better now that Todoroki actually apologized. And you could tell that he actually meant it rather than just being like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, whatever. Yeah. So Todoroki and Izuku both improve how much ice and fire they can make and their ability to withstand their quirks. But yeah, Marceline just increases her ability to create snow and control it easily, and even creating an ultimate move where she creates a blizzard-like effect, and she can attack from any angle without the enemy seeing. But yeah, so in the 2 weeks, Todoroki and Todoroki, Azuko and Shoto have actually kind of repaired their relationship, I guess, becoming friends again, ish. But yeah. So when they go back to school, Aizawa walks into the room, bandages all over his body, and he says, "Okay, everyone, I was told that you know about the sports festival." I'm dying. But yeah. So, and everyone's like, "Oh, Mr. Aizawa, what happened? Like, what's wrong with you?" My Cavalry girl went ham, so at least I can actually talk and walk, but I have to stay like this for a while. Everyone says, oh, okay. Yeah, so he says, okay, just get changed into your sports uniform and get onto the bus. Yeah, they get changed and they get to the thing. They get told to just wait for a little bit until they're announced. Then Class 1B, Class 1C comes out and they get a bit of applause, like, yeah, woo! Well, not just that, but like a few more people. Imagine that, like, except times 100, but like times 1,000 or something. And then, then President Mike announces Class 1A, and then everyone's going, whoa, heck yeah! And imagine that times 1,000. And this is annoying, like Class 1B, 1C, even the general studies, like literally every other class. And I'm not sure who I may get first, so I'm just gonna say it's Bakugo. He gets up and does the exact same speech, except a little bit more cockier, because he didn't have Azuku to say, like, oh, yeah, you shouldn't do anything. Like, yeah, he's just more cocky. But, yeah. Midnight says, okay, after that speech, I guess, but time to pick the first event. She spins the thing, and it gets obstacle course. He says, okay, students will have to do an obstacle course, explaining everything else. And then, yeah, they get given 5 minutes to get there and prepare what they're gonna do. But yeah, so Azuku and Todoroki at the front. Well, Azuku and Shoto, yeah. Whenever I say Todoroki, I mean Shoto. That's just by, yeah. So Azuku kind of thinks that Todoroki will probably just do what he was gonna do in canon, like just create a giant ice thing and everyone would get stuck. Yeah, and Midnight does say start, and he does do that. Except not everyone's as frozen because he doesn't have daddy issues. Yeah, Azuki using his powers to create ice from any point in his body. Uses it and uses both feet to create ice rather than what Todoroki did, and using both hands to propel himself forward with fire. And Todoroki's doing that the same, but he's using his fire side on one half and the other in his ice. Yeah. But Azuku's end up going faster than Todoroki and Bakugo, so he isn't currently in first. He's going pretty fast, and as I was President Mike's saying, wow, isn't that one of your kids, Aizawa? Is that one of your students, Aizawa? He says, yes, that is Azuku Todoroki. He says, wow, what's his quirk? Half hot, half cold. Could you explain it to us? I could. There's like a little bit of silence, and President Mike says, will you explain it to us? Oh, okay. Just give me a second. Jeez, I need to drink something. I don't have any water though. Meh. And he says he can create cold fire or hot ice. There. President Mike says, thank you for the explanation, I guess. But yeah. When Azuki gets to the robots, he simply just freezes one, with his ice, hot ice. And from what they observe, they can actually see the robot melting inside the ice, and it is quite cool to the audience. Yeah, when he gets to the and Shoto comes behind him, just freezing the other ones. But yeah, when he gets to the big ravine kind of thing, he doesn't want to lose any speed or any time. So he simply just creates a ramp and flies with his fire like his dad. And once he gets over it, he creates a ramp going down and then again continues. Shoto close behind him uses this ramp and creates it higher, getting more speed and also going in the air for a little bit and then landing close beside Izuku. He says, "Hey, good trick. You thought you lost me, huh?" Izuku looking back saying, "Damn it." Izuku just then pretty much going to overdrive, and he goes like 3 times faster. Todoroki didn't have a chance. But yeah, when the minefields, he just literally created ice over them, and they were exploding behind him, and one hitting Todoroki. But yeah, so Izuku gets first, Todoroki second, Bako third, and then yada yada yada. But yeah, so then it's a cavalry battle. His team is him, Tokoyami, Marceline, and Mei. Izuku, Uraka just isn't a part of this, man. But yeah. So, and Izuku's on top because his quirk could be quite useful. He can create walls, he can create fire to block people away, and yeah. So, they're doing this the whole time, and if someone gets too close, like Marceline will just, once you create a snowstorm, they'll kind of hide them, then they can run away. But yeah, they ain't trying to steal people's points, but they still end up doing it with like Tokoyami's Dark Shadow and shit. They end up getting like 3 headbands and keeping the 10 million points. But yeah, now it's on to the actually interesting bit rather than the cavalry battle. The 1v1s. But yeah. So, first battle, Izuku versus Shinso. And because Izuku's still friends with Ojiro and everything, he gets told about it. And Izuku's like, thanks Ojiro. He walks out, and Izuku and Shinso, before the match even starts, just start insulting him, like, "What's with the blue hair, E-boy? Trying to impress some girls or whatever." Izuku not responding, but getting a little bit of an annoyed face. You know, from the stands, you can hear like Todoroki and Marceline saying, "Go Izuku, go Izuku, go Izuku." Same with In-Depth for a little bit, like he's saying it in his head, but he's not actually saying it out loud. And then Shinso sees it and says, "Oh, is that your girlfriend or something?" Looking at Marceline, and Izuku's like, "Damn, she's pretty ugly." Izuku getting like another tick mark on his head. He says, "Oh, is that your brother with the half white hair and half red hair?" He looks like an idiot. And then when midnight sets start, Izuku just kind of snaps and sends a giant ice thing at Shinso, and Shinso rolling out of the way, just barely dodging it. But yeah, and Shinso's like, "Why won't you talk?" Oh, and he sees like Izuku kind of looking a little bit at Ojiro, and he says, "Oh, let me guess, the tailed bastard told you about my quirk." No, it's useless anyway. And then Izuku sends a fireball towards Shinso. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, because I keep coughing and shit. It feels like a knife's going down my throat. But yeah. I'm sorry for that. And then Shinso tells a sad backstory, like, "Oh, it must be good to be born with a great quirk. Everyone must love you." Far from the truth, he got ignored most of his life. But yeah. Then Deku just sends an ice wall around Shinso, where he wouldn't be able to roll out of the way. And then sending a fireball towards him, which actually freezes him in the spot. And then Izuku kind of starts slowly walking up to him and says, "Wow, thinking that I must have a good quirk. My life must have been great. Wow, you must be an idiot. Because of my brother, although I have forgiven him, most of my life I was ignored. My father and mother didn't talk to me for 14 years of my life, saying the bare minimum such as hey and hello. They did nothing with me. My whole family ignored me, and you're saying you had a bad life. Suck it up." And, he just kicks Shinso in the chest and knocking him out of the ring, and the ice breaking on him. But yeah, and that's that match concluded. President Mike shouting, "Izuku Todoroki the winner." But yeah, so everyone else does their fight, and whoever won continues on. Marceline being beaten by Bakugo. But yeah, then President Mike says, "Okay, on to second round. Izuku Todoroki versus Shoto Todoroki. Battle of the Brothers." Shoto smiles and says, "Well, let's see who's strongest then." Izuku saying, "Yeah." And that's where I'm going to end it off. I'm trying to get better at cliffhangers, because why not? But yeah, anyway, goodbye.